Week 16, we're talking about tight ends here. We want to make sure we get our tight end picks correct going into hopefully the championship game for you guys. We want to advance this place. Let me help you guys do that. Let's just throw up the rankings over there for the top 10 tight ends here. At number 10, we're talking about Dalton Kincaid taking on this Chargers defense that ranks 22nd against opposing tight ends. I know Dalton Kincaid is struggling with a shoulder injury right now. He is limited in practice. I do fully expect him to be able to play this weekend. I think Kincaid could be a phenomenal play. He's one of those guys who loves to get those touchdowns. The Chargers defense is absolutely putrid. I think there's going to be fantasy points all over the field for the Buffalo Bills. I think Dalton Kincaid is going to put up quite a few numbers for you. If you have him, put this guy into your lineup. I really do enjoy watching Kincaid play. I think he's going to be phenomenal for you this week. Easily top 10 for me. Get him in your lineup. Talking about number 9, we're going over Isaiah Likely going against that San Francisco 49ers defense that ranks 5th against opposing tight ends. And boy, has he filled in quite nicely for Mark Andrews. I'm liking what Likely is giving you in your team. I think that he has a nice safe floor for you. He's getting a lot of targets. And against a San Francisco 49ers team that is going to be rushing quite a bit on Lamar Jackson, he's going to need to have some deke and dunk type of options. Likely is going to be there for him for like a safety blanket. I think Likely has a solid game against this tough 49ers defense. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I think Likely has a really solid game for you. Easily number 9 for me this week. Coming at number 8, talking about Jake Ferguson taking on this Miami Dolphins defense that ranks 7th against opposing tight ends. And like I mentioned in my wide receiver video that you guys watched previously, this is going to be a good game. The Cowboys and the Dolphins is going to be a lot of back and forth, high power type of offense, and they need pass catchers. I expect CeeDee Lamb to do good. I expect Brandon Cooks to do good. And I expect Jake Ferguson to do good. And we all know, in my opinion, if you guys watched this channel before, I think Jake Ferguson is very touchdown dependent. And I think this is one of those games that he does have a good opportunity of getting a touchdown for your team. So I do like Jake Ferguson, especially I think if he gets into the end zone, he should have a nice fantasy outing for you. Get the guy in your lineup at number 8 for me in week 16. So about number 7 here, talking about George Kittle taking on this Baltimore Ravens defense that goes 6th against opposing tight ends. George Kittle, another guy that I do like. He's been having some up and downs. He had a lot of ups early on in the season. He's starting to cool off just a little bit. We're starting to see more of Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk than the George Kittles, but I still think Kittle has a good opportunity to have a boom game each and every week. So he's definitely going to be in the top 10 no matter what, just because of his talent alone and the offense that he's in going against this Baltimore Ravens defense that is a little bit tougher. I get that, but that's why I dropped him down to number 7 on my list. Moving right along here, let's talk about number 6. Talk about Evan Ingram going against this Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense that ranks 27th against opposing tight ends. Evan Ingram is another piece to the puzzle in this offense for Trevor Lawrence. It's just there's a lot, whether it's Calvin Ridley or whether it's Travis Etienne out of the backfield, Evan Ingram. There's a lot of pass catching ability here for everybody else, and who knows if Zay Jones misses this, Evan Ingram is going to be elevated even more to be a pass-catching option for this offense. I do like Evan Ingram going against this Buccaneers defense, who does struggle guarding the tight end position. So if you have Evan Ingram, you're happy that you have him into your lineup. I think he has a solid game for you this week. Moving right along here to number 5. Talk about TJ Hockenson going against the Detroit Lions defense that ranks 23rd against opposing tight ends. TJ Hockenson, we all know what he gives them. Even coming over when he did play for Detroit, now over here with the Minnesota Vikings. Justin Jefferson's back, and it really doesn't matter. Hockenson is still going to be involved into this offense. I think this Detroit Lions and Vikings game is going to be a nice, high-scoring type of game, and I think Hockenson gets plenty of opportunities to be fantasy viable, easy in the top 5 for me this week. Moving right along here, number 4, talking about Sam Laporta going against this Minnesota Vikings defense that ranks 12th against opposing tight ends. Sam Laporta, another one of these guys, another one of these rookies that came out and is really just showing out. I love what he is doing. I love the opportunities that he has against the Vikings defense, who, kind of middle of the pack against the tight end position. And Sam Laporta, again, other than Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's the next man up when it comes to the receiving options. I like Sam Laporta this week. If you got him in your lineup, be happy that you do. Coming at number 3, could be a surprise. We're talking about Travis Kelce going against the Las Vegas Raiders here. Ranks 14th against opposing tight ends. I did drop Kelce to number 3. He's normally number 1 like everybody else, but I had to put him at number 3 this week. He's just not putting up the numbers that we're used to seeing, and just the offense as a whole in the Chiefs isn't putting up the numbers that we're used to seeing. So he's just not the number 1 tight end for me this week. Go ahead and flame me down in the comments if you want to. But Travis Kelce doesn't belong into my top one defense or tight end until he can prove that he can beat these defenses. So I think Travis Kelce easily number 3. He's in a great, offensive production. He is the man for Patrick Mahomes. He's just not putting up the numbers right now, so it's hard for me to put him at number 1 when there's 2 guys clearly ahead of him, in my opinion. Coming at number 2, I'm talking about David Njoku going against this Houston Texans defense. Ranks 25th against opposing tight ends. David Njoku is the man here for Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco is targeted this guy 10 plus times a game, getting plenty of fantasy opportunities to be the man, and is showing time and time again he can be dependable with his hands. We are seeing David Njoku grow up right before our eyes. I love what I'm seeing from David Njoku. Easily number 2 for me this week against this Texans defense that I think he can take advantage of. So I'm going over number 1 here. Who else? We're going over Trey McBride going against the Chicago Bears defense, ranks 29th against opposing tight ends. Trey McBride is the offense here for Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. I mean, he's getting all the targets that you can even think of. He is a phenomenal play, and on top of all of that, going against the Bears defense, who is just absolutely cock-a-doodle against the tight end position, this is going to be a huge game. I think he's going to be a monster this week. Trey McBride should be lighting the world on fire for fantasy football this week. Love this guy. Get him into your lineup. That's all the tight ends I got for this week in week 16. As always, thank you for watching the video, guys. Hit the subscribe button. Really close to 700 subscribers. We are growing week in and week out. We're putting out solid videos to help you hoist up that trophy and win the championship. Leave a comment down below. Really helps out. Leave a like button. All that good jazz. Appreciate for all you guys who make it this far in the video, but I can't wait to see you guys on the next video. We'll see you guys next time.